Okay, this is prompt number 2 for week 3 online. I watched the Caring and Control Create a Safe Positive class from the teaching channel for my video this week. And I thought there was a lot of really cool things I learned from it. I thought the way that the teacher in the video sat down with her class every morning and they just talked. I really liked she gave them a rating system based off of how they're doing this morning. And 1 was doing great, 5 was I'm unhappy, and she just went around and like, why are you unhappy? Why are you a 3? Why are you a 4? And she used their ratings that day to guide her teaching with them, and I thought that was a really cool way to interact. I use a system similar to that with one of my students, but it's to rate her frustration, and I feel like if we, in a situation, because, are you feeling a 3? Are you feeling a 5? 5's like, let's go take a walk. 3 is like, I'm getting irritated, and I'm starting to, we have different specifications for it. But I thought it was really cool to do it in kind of more prior to there being an issue. We use our rating scale when the issue is already present, and I like the idea that she did it to start the day. Like, tell me if you didn't sleep last night. Tell me if you're mad about something else. I also thought that, and, the guy who was trying to assist in giving her behavior management tips said it too, you use so many positive comments, and he thought that was great. And he's like, you in 20 minutes had 12 or 10 positive comments without having any negative comments, and I honestly do believe that students will respond to that. And it's not, some of my students will try and pick up on people that too many positive comments. I feel like they think like, oh, this lady, she's way too nice, I can push her around. I feel like they pick up on stuff like that. But I do think that should be their reinforcement, like, what, I think you're doing so great. And that, that was great how I just watched you try until you figured it out, because I saw that you didn't get on the first try, but I'm watching, and I saw that you were listening. I saw that I think those are really great comments to use in class. And I like that she used the rating scale also for understanding, like who, rate yourself on, I think it was about suffixes, and who's got, and that also is nice to use. It's a nice tool to use throughout, to gauge understanding your lesson. Okay, rate yourself if you have a good idea of what we're talking about right now. And, you can just use it throughout the day, and I think it's a big indicator, and it keeps the students engaged. That was another big thing that they talked about, is just, monitoring your student engagement throughout the activity, monitoring who's paying attention, and what individual student engagement looks like. How she was saying that one student, his confused face wasn't another student's confused face. One student was mimicking their dog. And that's true. Each student is their own person, and everyone, you can't read them all the same. And getting to know your students and what their engagement looks like, and what them disengaging looks like, and how to make sure they're following you. And it's awareness, having just full class awareness of everything happening, and always being alert enough to want to change. And I think that was the best thing, is like, she has this class that he clearly said knows their procedures. She's done a great job in teaching that, and she's actively seeking, how can I better support my class? How can I get them more engaged? And, they're always looking to increase engagement and increase supports for your students, and to always be adapting your class's needs or your teaching style to fit your class's needs, is where I'm going. Sorry, it's late right now. But, yeah, it was a good video. Okay, on to prompt number 3. What are the guidelines for developing both positive and negative consequences? So positive consequences are used to reinforce desired behaviors, and so they're as the Iris module. As the Iris module talked about, there's like 3 different kinds of positive consequences. Ones that are used free and frequently, intermittently, and there's strong and long term ones. The free and frequently ones are ones that you can use every day. Verbal praise, stickers, smile, things like that. And they were saying that when you're delivering a positive consequence, it's really important to link the behavior to the consequence. So, you know what, Jimmy? I really like how, like in my classroom, we use tickets. I really like how you listened and followed directions on the first try without me having to repeat anything that you needed to do. And I just really like that showed you were paying attention. Here's your ticket, and Jimmy, or did I already say Jimmy? Mark over next to him is like, wow, yeah, I want one of those. I really need to pay attention or clean up faster, and use your students as role models. They were saying that some of the intermittent ones, extra computer time, they could have. I'm trying to think what I use in my classroom. Alternative seating. You can bounce on the ball today for, helping put away your supplies, or that I guess not something like that. You have earned to go to recess 3 minutes early because I saw you were picking up trash in the classroom without having been asked, and I think that's a leader. Stuff like that. So link the consequence to the positive behavior. Be consistent so that students know, that their positive behaviors are being consistently recognized, and it makes them want to do them more. It said to make direct eye contact in the Iris module, but I feel like I do that pretty regularly. And yeah. And so then we had negative consequences, which is, let's see, what was it? It's for undesirable behaviors. What was that? It was, to reduce instances of non-compliance, which I feel like those are the ones that really you're delivering of your negative consequences really is important, because you need to be patient. You need to control, like you cannot be angry. You have to really have self-control over yourself. Use a soft voice. You don't negotiate. Nope. I'm sorry, this was set forth. We already talked about this. I watched you hit Sarah, and that is our classroom rule, that we keep our hands to ourselves and we're respectful to our friends, and I'm sorry. I'm really happy that you apologized. I appreciate you doing that, but you do not get to go to recess today. You do not get to be lion leader. For whatever it would be. You have clear consequences of this happens when you do this, and so I think those were all very good. And you want to provide explanation. You want to educate your students why this is happening, why we do this, why it's set up this way, so that they're not. I know that for my students, we always have to remind them. I know. You forgot. I know. We forgot. But this is how we learn. One of it, I forgot to listen. I know. I'm so sorry. But you can try next time, but we didn't make it happen this time, and this is your consequence for not listening. If he hit Sarah, I'd probably we'd have a different consequence than not being line leader. I'm just trying to thing. And, you know, one of, like, for one of my students, as a part of his behavior management, we have daily report cards and everything, and he's aware of them because he really tries to earn positive marks on his report card, and so he understands that his non-compliance, his consequence is a negative mark in his report card, and he tries to negotiate those all day long. And so it's really important that across the board, because I'm not the only one who writes in it. We have my co-teacher writes in it also, and he will constantly try to negotiate, and we have to have complete consistency, and we just have to explain to him, like, I don't control what, you know, I write down what I see. I cannot, you are in charge of your choices. What you do determines what goes home in the report card, and you know, that's a really hard negative consequence for him. And so we always have to provide explanation, use consistency, patience, soft voice, no expressing anger, so that he can, you know, get all of that together. And I think that's it. Those are basically all of, I'm looking over my notes right now, all of the delivering consequences guidelines.